Hi, Dave Anderson from the Camera Company. Today let's talk about white balance. So why do we adjust white balance? It's so that our pictures that we take are as close to accurate in color as possible. Now, light has different colors. It ranges from warm, which it has a yellow cast like a candle burning or that early morning or late evening sunset, to very cold, which is blue in color. A lot of times if you take a picture under fluorescent lights, you're going to notice that your subjects look bluer. If you take pictures of people under tungsten light, they're going to look a little bit more yellow. So what we do is we adjust the white balance in our camera. Our eye compensates perfectly, but our camera doesn't know how to do that. So by adjusting the white balance in the camera and putting the setting on tungsten when we're taking pictures under tungsten lighting, it's going to cool that image down to make it look more natural. The same is true if you're taking a picture of someone under fluorescent lighting. You need to warm that up a little bit so that the people don't look blue. Today we're under kind of a partly cloudy sky with a color temperature of about 5,500 degrees Kelvin. As we would move into the shade, that color temperature is going to change and cool down a little bit, so we might want to change our white balance setting on our camera to cloudy. If you're using a flash, the camera should have a flash setting, and that should also then compensate for the color temperature of your flash to make your pictures look normal. Now, keep in mind that most DSLRs, point and shoots, and even our bridge cameras have auto white balance, and it does a pretty good job, but there are times when you might want to change it. So what I've done is I've set up a little scene here with some objects from around the house of different colors, and I'm going to take those pictures now using the different white balance settings that the camera has to offer, and then I will show those to you and we can discuss what happened. So let's get started. Okay, as you can see here in my first image, I left the white balance settings at auto, and we came out with a color temperature of about 4850. Now, when I did measure the sky, my white balance was right around 5,000. So the auto did a pretty good job. As we move into changing the white balance setting to tungsten, we see that it dropped the color temperature down to 2950. It made it bluer. Now, if you remember, if you're taking pictures under tungsten light, they normally are very yellow, so the camera is trying to compensate by adding the blue to make it neutral. So relatively speaking, if we were under tungsten light conditions, our image should have looked natural. But here we're seeing the impact of how that camera adjusts and gives us that bluer color. As we look at the fluorescent lights generally have a little bit of a blue cast, and they'll want to go and add a little bit of yellow. Again, this is relative to the light that we're photographing under, so if we were under fluorescent light, this would have neutralized and made our image look correct. Now, when I put it on sunny, it gave me a white balance of 5,000 degrees Kelvin, and you can see by the inset picture that it's almost exactly the same. So whether we were on auto or sunny, the camera would have done a good job for us. We set the white balance setting to flash, and flash will always add a little bit of warmth to your image. So you can see here that we went from 5,000 to 6,300 degree Kelvin, and comparing it to the inset picture, you can see how the image is a little warmer. Under cloudy conditions, the white balance took us to 5,850, warmed it up a little bit more. Not bad looking, but again, you can see that we're starting to catch a little bit of a yellow cast, and it's not quite right. It doesn't have that same neutral color that we would get had we been under sunny or under the auto white balance. And then I did a manual setting at 4,000 to show you how that would add a little blue. I also did a manual setting at 5560, which is what was recommended when I used a Expo disc in order to calibrate it, and not bad, maybe just a little bit warm. So as you can see, by changing the white balance, you can impact the color of your photographs. Sometimes you want to do this to add an effect, but most of the time you want to use the proper white balance for your situation so that your colors come out as accurate as possible. I hope this tip was helpful. If so, please follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will see you in the next video.